The iPad 5 will be landing shortly and will be facing some stiff competition straight out of the gate, including the Sony Xperia Tablet Z and the new Google Nexus 7, both of which scored highly in the eyes of critics. So what will Apple be bringing to the table to fend off its rivals, and will we see a major upgrade over the iPad 4? Our Tech Radar experts offer their predictions.
With the leaks we've been seeing for the iPad 5, it looks like Apple might be going for a more squared off design in the style of the iPad mini, which is quite interesting. We're also expecting it might bring in some new colours like the iPhone 5S, so we'll see our space grey and our gold and our silver maybe making an appearance there as well.
It looks like the iPad 5 will follow the iPad mini in terms of design. A slimmer, more lightweight tablet with more rounded corners and one which is much easier to hold as well as looking fantastic. The iPad 4 is a little on the heavy side, a little on the bulky side, and it'll be great to see Apple slim it all down.
Essentially, tablets these days are our new computers. They're really powerful. We want them to be able to do the kind of things we used to do on our desktops and we're now doing on our laptops. So something like the A7X chip, rumoured to be a really powerful alternative, it's going to be a really interesting time to see if a laptop or a desktop can be replaced by something that Apple can produce, which is meant to be a tablet.
The display on the iPad 5 is going to be an interesting area because we think we're going to see some new technology in there. Now, something from Sharp could make this thinner, more responsive and faster, so that's really going to help change the way the iPad looks and feels and people can interact with it. Now, Sharp, if they're the ones that actually are going to make it, probably will have to get some help, so the likes of Samsung, LG could also be drafted in to help make the screen technology, but genuinely it could be a real step forward.
I think it's inevitable that we're going to see the Touch ID technology in the iPad 5. We saw it in the iPhone 5S, which was the more expensive version of the two phones that were released. So we probably won't see it in the iPad mini too. We will see a thinner bezel as well, and we will definitely see a Retina screen, and it will be better than what we've seen before. And there will be a bigger battery, that's what everyone's hoping, but how they get that into the thinner chassis, nobody quite knows just yet, to be honest. But the iPad 5 is all about gaming, like the other iPads have been before, and I think we will see the A7X chip, which will improve the gaming immensely on the iPad.
Now, here's the bad news. The iPad 5 is still going to cost quite a lot of money. Now Apple has the iPad mini 2 to sell to consumers that really want a budget device, if that's what you want to call it. The iPad 5 is going to have all the latest technology, the greatest specs, so it's going to really cost quite a lot of money.
Apple are sellers of premium products and they're kind of keen to keep that tag, so don't expect it to be a cheap tablet. They're going to be looking at things like the Nexus tablets and the Kindle tablets, and they're going to think, well, that's not our market. They're going to be high-end, unashamedly high-end. Don't expect this to be a cheap old tablet.
So what does this mean for the iPad 4? Well, it could see a price cut, taking it down to the price of the current iPad 2, which in turn may be discontinued by Apple completely. Apple has an event planned on October 22nd, and we're almost certain we'll see the iPad 5 launched here, and it could well arrive alongside the iPad mini too.
Apple's iPad 5 is going to have to hit the shops before Christmas because that's a big deal for Apple. They want to be selling millions of these things, and I think for a lot of people who aren't looking for a smaller tablet, this is probably going to be a really hot choice, and I'd expect a lot of people to be looking under their Christmas trees for a big tablet this year.